Pirates kidnapped an alien woman. Then the world's deadliest agent went after her. The stars shone bright across the Andromeda trade cluster, casting a faint glow on the sleek hull of the cruiser that carried Saris Vol. She was an alien diplomat from the planet Zithera, known throughout the galaxy for her calm demeanor and sharp mind. Today, she traveled alone, expecting only routine inspections and minor negotiations. She did not anticipate danger. The cruiser glided silently through the void, passing asteroid belts and abandoned satellites, each a relic of older, forgotten conflicts. Saris moved through the ship with quiet grace, checking her messages and reviewing documents about the upcoming diplomatic talks. Her mind was sharp, yet she allowed herself a small moment of peace. She had done this many times before, navigating the delicate politics of the galaxy. She believed herself prepared for anything. Yet even as she worked, something felt off. A faint ripple in the communications net, barely noticeable, alerted her instincts. Her eyes narrowed. There was a subtle interference pattern that should not have been there. Saris had faced threats before, but nothing like this. She activated the ship's sensors, scanning the area. Nothing. The stars seemed normal. The silence of space pressed in unbroken. Then it came, an explosion of light and movement. A small fleet of pirate ships emerged from the shadows of a nearby asteroid belt. They moved with ruthless precision, cutting off any chance of escape. These were not ordinary space thieves. Their ships were armed with heavy plasma cannons and rapid-fire disruptors. Every maneuver showed experience, cruelty, and intent. Saris's heart raced. She was not trained for combat, yet her mind began calculating the possibilities. The pirates sent a transmission, crackling and distorted. A deep, mechanical voice spoke, threatening and cold. "Zithera diplomat, surrender immediately, or you will regret it." Saris's jaw tightened. She knew negotiation might not work with pirates like these. She considered fleeing, but her ship was already surrounded. Every exit route was blocked. Her sensors detected tractor beams locking onto her cruiser. She realized then that this was no ordinary raid. It was precise, planned, and personal. The pirates wanted her specifically. Her fingers moved over the control panels, attempting evasive maneuvers. She darted left and right, weaving through debris fields and old satellites. The cruiser's engines roared, but even with all her skill, the pirates kept pace, anticipating her every move. Saris realized the odds were against her. Survival would require more than speed. It would require ingenuity and quick thinking. As the pirates closed in, a small part of her mind noted something unusual. The patterns in their movements were not random. They were predictable, almost ritualistic. She remembered stories of human operatives, tales of individuals who could read their enemies like open books. She realized with a mix of fear and hope that if a human were tracking these pirates, he could be the only one capable of saving her. The pirate ships fired, and the cruiser's shields flared under the onslaught. She felt the vibrations through the floor, the hum of energy, the taste of fear. Her calm composure, honed over years of diplomacy, strained under the pressure. Every second counted. She activated countermeasures, launching decoy drones to distract the attackers. The lights of the cruiser flickered, the engines groaned, but she held control. Despite her efforts, one of the pirate ships managed to latch onto her cruiser. A boarding pod detached, hurtling toward her hull. Saris's mind raced. She had no weapons, no army, only her wits. She activated the emergency teleporter, but the pirates anticipated her move. A magnetic pulse disrupted the system, rendering it useless. Panic threatened to take hold, but she forced it back. Panic would not help, only strategy would. The boarding pod struck the cruiser. Alarms blared as the outer hull was breached. Saris ducked, rolling to avoid debris and sparks. She grabbed her portable communicator, sending a distress signal encrypted with the highest level codes. She hoped someone, anyone, would respond. Her message contained only a simple plea, coordinates, the identity of the attackers, and a warning about the danger. She hoped it would reach someone capable. And then she felt it, a sudden shift in the cruiser's motion. Tractor beams had locked her in completely. The pirates' voices echoed through the ship, mocking and cruel. "Give up, diplomat. You cannot escape." Saris, however, was not ready to surrender. She used the ship's thrusters to spin and create momentum, throwing the boarding pod off balance. Sparks flew, and the pod collided with the cruiser's wall, disabling its primary mechanism. She had bought herself a few precious minutes, minutes that could mean the difference between life and death. Meanwhile, far from the trade cluster, a human named Kale Roran monitored the galactic communications network. He was known as the deadliest human agent in the galaxy, a man whose reputation alone caused fear in the hearts of pirates and warlords alike. Kale had faced mercenary fleets, rogue AI, and even alien warlords, and had survived where others had failed. Kale's eyes flicked to the signal that had just crossed his screen. A high-level distress call, encrypted with a signature he recognized immediately. The name attached to it made him pause. Saris Vol, a diplomat whose influence could shift entire alliances. He knew immediately what had happened. Pirates, cunning and ruthless, had captured her, and the galaxy was now on the edge of chaos. Kale did not hesitate. He accessed his ship, the Vigilant, a vessel built for stealth and precision. Unlike the pirates, he relied not on overwhelming firepower, but on strategy, intuition, and adaptability, the traits that made humans unpredictable. He activated his engines, plotting a course toward the coordinates embedded in the distress call. As he traveled through space, Kale reviewed every detail he could gather about the pirates, their fleet, their tactics, their weaknesses. He considered every possibility, every trap they might have prepared. Kale smiled faintly, a glint of determination in his eyes. This mission would test every skill he had, but he thrived on challenges like this. Humans had a reputation for survival, for courage, for ingenuity, and he intended to prove it once again. Back on the cruiser, Saris worked quickly to protect herself. She accessed hidden compartments, pulling out ancient devices from her people, tools that might aid in escape. She reprogrammed some of the systems, creating minor malfunctions in the pirates' tracking software. Every action she took was precise, calculated. Despite fear, she remained in control. Minutes stretched into tense hours as the pirates discussed their next steps. They believed their prize was secure, yet they underestimated the human factor, the possibility that someone like Kale could intervene. Saris sensed a shift in the air, a subtle change in the balance of power. She could not explain it, but a small part of her hoped that salvation would come. And in the distance, among the stars, Kale moved closer, unseen but resolute. The pirates finally prepared to transport her to their hidden base. Their arrogance was their weakness. They assumed victory, but they had not accounted for human adaptability and determination. As the transport beam activated, Sarah seized the moment, activating a personal shield device that rendered her temporarily invisible to the sensors. She slipped free from the beam's trajectory, hiding in a maintenance corridor. Kale's ship emerged from hyperspace near the trade cluster. He scanned the area, noting the pirate positions, their movements and patterns. Every instinct told him where Saris would be, even without direct communication. Humans had a way of reading the environment, predicting outcomes, and acting decisively. He prepared for infiltration, knowing that a single misstep could cost lives, yet confident that strategy would prevail over brute force. Saris waited, her heart pounding, listening to the distant voices of the pirates. She knew rescue was possible, but only if the right person arrived. She recalled the stories of humans who could act alone against impossible odds, relying on wits and courage. She had never met one, but now hope stirred in her chest. Perhaps humanity was not as small and fragile as some believed. Perhaps humans, in their determination and cleverness, could face the galaxy's deadliest threats and survive. As the pirate ship carried her deeper into uncharted space, Kale adjusted his trajectory. His sensors picked up the faint signatures of the cruiser's engines, masked but traceable. He prepared for the challenges ahead: asteroid fields, pirate patrols, and traps designed to stop even the bravest of rescuers. Yet he felt no fear, only the thrill of the mission. The galaxy often underestimated humans, but he would show them the truth. And so, as stars streaked past the hull of his ship and the distant sun of a dying star cast a pale light across the void, the stage was set. Saris Vol, the diplomat whose life hung in the balance, and Kale Roran, the human agent whose reputation inspired both fear and awe, were about to meet in a struggle that would test courage, intellect, and the power of the human spirit. The chase had begun, and nothing would be the same again. The pirate fleet moved like a shadow through the void, each ship glinting coldly under the light of distant stars. Saris Vol remained hidden in the maintenance corridor of her cruiser, heart pounding but mind sharp. Every sound, every vibration, told her something about her surroundings. The pirates believed she was secure, unaware that she had slipped from their grasp moments ago. The smallest detail, a flicker in a sensor, a delay in a hatch, could change everything, and she was ready to exploit it. Time was her enemy. The pirates were transporting her toward a hidden base deep in uncharted space, a place where no ally could follow. She moved cautiously, using the ship's service tunnels to bypass patrols and reach the control hub. Along the way, she hacked minor systems, creating false signals to mislead the pirates' sensors. Every move was precise, born from years of training in diplomacy and intelligence gathering. Even in fear, she remained in control. Meanwhile, Kale Roran's ship, the Vigilant, approached the cluster of asteroid belts where the pirates had been last detected. His sensors swept the area methodically. The human mind excelled at pattern recognition, and Kale noticed subtle inconsistencies in the pirates' fleet movements, small delays in their formations, slight deviations from standard patrol routes. To most, these would have been invisible, but Kale knew they were clues. Every anomaly was a thread to follow, a path to the hidden base. Kale adjusted his course, weaving through the asteroid fields with precision. He had learned long ago that the galaxy underestimated humans' ability to adapt. While alien fleets relied on sheer technology and brute force, humans could improvise, think creatively, and act unpredictably. That unpredictability made him deadly. As he moved, he prepared small drones, each equipped with scanners and minor sabotage devices, to deploy ahead of him. These would gather intelligence and create diversions, softening the pirates' defenses before he arrived. Back aboard the cruiser, Saris continued her cautious progress. She reached the control hub and accessed the ship's navigation systems. Her knowledge of alien technology allowed her to reroute power to create false warp signatures, making it appear as though the cruiser had already jumped to another sector. She hoped it would buy precious time. Each moment brought her closer to potential rescue, yet the danger never eased. The pirates' presence was suffocating, a constant reminder of how quickly the galaxy could turn hostile. Kale's drones reached the outskirts of the asteroid cluster. They sent back images and signals, confirming what he had suspected. The pirates had a mobile base hidden within a dense field of rocks and ice. Their ships moved in formation around it, defending it from any unexpected intruders. Kale studied the data, noting weak points, timing of patrol rotations, and the placement of defensive turrets. The base was formidable, but nothing humans could not challenge with strategy and determination. Using the drones, Kale created a small series of diversions. One ship appeared to emerge from hyperspace at the wrong side of the base, drawing fire and attention. Another drone emitted false warp signatures, confusing the pirates' sensors. He smiled faintly as the pirates scrambled, revealing gaps in their defenses. Humans were rarely predictable, and Kale exploited that advantage fully. On the cruiser, Saris monitored her own systems. She could feel the presence of another intelligence in the area, a pattern in the energy readings that suggested a human operative was approaching. Humans were not particularly strong or fast compared to many species, but they had something the galaxy often overlooked: ingenuity. She allowed herself a flicker of hope. Perhaps someone was coming to help. The pirates finally realized their prize was moving within the ship. Panic rippled through the boarding teams. They split into squads, searching corridors systematically, yet Saris remained elusive. She had studied their tactics during the approach, noting their tendencies and weaknesses. Using a combination of stealth and calculated distractions, she led the pirates on a chase through maintenance tunnels, all the while heading toward an escape pod she had prepared in advance. Kale, sensing the shift in pirate activity, accelerated his approach. His ship moved with silent precision, weaving between asteroids, adjusting speed and trajectory to avoid detection. Humans had a unique ability to adapt under pressure, and Kale's mind was constantly calculating possibilities. He considered each move the pirates might make, predicting outcomes and adjusting his strategy in real time. The distance between Kale and the pirate fleet decreased steadily. He deployed a small, magnetic grappling drone, which attached to one of the pirate patrol ships. Using it, he pulled the ship slightly off course, forcing the pirates to divert resources to address the unexpected problem. Each small action disrupted their confidence and coordination, creating openings that could be exploited. Humans, Kale reflected, thrived in chaos. Where others relied on rigid plans, humans adapted and overcame. Inside the cruiser, Saris reached the escape pod bay. She prepared the pod for launch, calculating trajectories, ensuring it could escape the pirates' tracking systems. Her fingers moved quickly over the controls, a symphony of focus and precision. She paused for a moment, considering the possibility of Kale's arrival. If he was indeed coming, she might not need to launch immediately. Her instincts told her to wait, but she could not risk the pirates discovering her before the opportunity came. The pirates, frustrated and confused by her evasions, regrouped. Their leader, a brutish alien with a reputation for cruelty, roared orders through the ship's communication system. "Find her. She cannot escape us. She is worth more than all of your lives combined." The pirates moved with renewed aggression, but Saris anticipated each maneuver, narrowly avoiding capture at every turn. Kale's ship finally reached the outer edge of the asteroid field. He paused for a moment, analyzing the situation, noting the pirate base's defenses and the patterns of their patrols. He prepared to move in, knowing that rushing blindly would be fatal. Patience and observation were tools humans excelled at. Using small drones, he created a network of misdirection, allowing him to approach the base without triggering alarms. Back in the maintenance tunnels, Saris sensed a presence outside the cruiser's hull. Energy readings fluctuated, showing signs of interference. She realized someone was approaching, someone with a human signature. The thought gave her courage. Humans were unpredictable, clever, and capable of acts that even the most advanced alien species could not anticipate. Perhaps she would be rescued after all. Kale deployed a series of micro-drones that attached themselves to the cruiser's hull, scanning for life signs and weak points. The drones sent back real-time data, confirming Saris's location within the ship. He noted her proximity to the escape pod bay and began planning his infiltration carefully. Humans had the advantage of imagination, seeing possibilities others could not, predicting actions and exploiting weaknesses. Every step was calculated, every move precise. The pirates detected the first of Kale's drones and reacted with alarm. They fired disruptor beams at the small machines, but the drones moved unpredictably, evading destruction. The pirates' frustration grew, and their coordination faltered. Kale observed the chaos, noting how the smallest interventions could ripple through the enemy's ranks. One human mind, acting decisively, could create an impact far greater than brute force alone. Saris activated a hidden communicator in her suit, sending a faint signal toward Kale's direction. She did not know the exact coordinates, but she trusted human intuition. Somewhere out there, a human was coming, and she hoped he would understand her situation. The signal was weak, but enough to guide someone capable, someone who could see through the confusion and act decisively. Kale received the faint signal and smiled. Humans excelled at improvisation, and Saris's action confirmed what he already suspected. She was alive, resourceful, and intelligent, a worthy partner in survival. He adjusted his approach, preparing to make a move that would allow him to infiltrate the cruiser while minimizing risk. Humans were not the fastest or the strongest species, but their combination of intelligence, courage, and adaptability gave them an edge no one expected. As Kale prepared his entry, the pirates' internal conflicts escalated. Some factions within the crew disagreed on the best approach, their lack of cohesion a weakness Kale exploited. Humans thrived in situations where others relied on predictability. One decisive mind, acting at the right moment, could change the outcome of events entirely. Kale was about to demonstrate that truth. Saris, hiding near the escape pod, felt a shift in the energy patterns around her. Someone was near. She held her breath, careful not to reveal her presence prematurely. The human mind, she thought, was remarkable. Even in tales, humans were unpredictable, clever, and capable of acts that could change the course of history. She hoped that this human operative would arrive in time to tip the balance. Kale moved closer, guiding his drones into the cruiser's systems. He avoided sensors, using shadows and timing to his advantage. The pirates remained unaware of the true threat approaching. Human ingenuity, patience, and adaptability allowed him to move like a ghost among the enemy, each calculated step bringing him closer to the ultimate goal, the rescue of Saris Vol. The stage was set. Inside the cruiser, Saris prepared to act, holding her breath as the pirate patrols moved past. Outside, Kale maneuvered carefully, his drones providing the intelligence needed to ensure success. Every detail mattered. Humans, as he knew, could see possibilities others could not, acting decisively to overcome overwhelming odds. The rescue was about to begin, and the galaxy would soon witness the power of human courage and intelligence. Kale Roran's ship hovered at the edge of the asteroid cluster, silent and invisible to the pirate fleet. From here, he observed the hidden base, a massive structure carved into the side of a jagged asteroid. Its hull gleamed under the faint light of a distant star, bristling with weapons and defensive turrets. It was formidable, designed to withstand attacks from even the most skilled mercenaries. Yet Kale knew that no fortress was impregnable. Humans had a gift for finding unexpected ways inside, exploiting weaknesses that others overlooked. Kale deployed a network of micro-drones, each slipping silently into the asteroid field. They scanned the base's outer hull, mapping patrols, shield patterns, and energy flows. The drones sent back real-time data, revealing the structure's vulnerabilities. Some turrets had brief cooldown periods after firing, and sections of the hull experienced micro-vibrations during routine maintenance cycles. Every detail mattered. Kale calculated the optimal entry point, a maintenance shaft near the less guarded side of the asteroid. Meanwhile, inside the cruiser, Saris Vol waited in the escape pod bay. The pirates were still searching the ship, but the chaos outside and her subtle manipulations of the ship's systems had bought her time. She watched the emergency monitors, listening to the sounds of distant footsteps and the faint hum of energy shields. Each passing minute brought a mixture of hope and tension. She knew that someone capable, someone human, was coming to rescue her. Humans had a reputation for ingenuity, for thinking beyond predictable patterns, and she placed her trust in that possibility. Kale initiated his approach. Using a small, reinforced shuttle, he glided silently toward the asteroid, avoiding the main sensors. The human mind excelled in improvisation, and Kale relied on both his knowledge of human tactics and his ability to adapt on the fly. One false move could alert the pirates, and one miscalculation could end in disaster. He adjusted the shuttle's trajectory, taking advantage of natural shadows in the asteroid field and the positions of large boulders to remain undetected. Inside the pirate base, guards moved in tight formations, confident in the strength of their fortress. They assumed no one could penetrate their defenses, not a single human, and certainly not without triggering alarms. Their arrogance was their weakness. Kale had learned that overconfidence often blinded others to simple, critical details. The pirates had focused on brute force, yet they had not considered subtlety, deception, and strategy, the very tools humans wielded best. Kale's shuttle reached the asteroid's surface. He disembarked in a small, lightweight suit designed for stealth and agility. The base was within reach, but getting inside required precision. Moving silently across the rocky terrain, he observed the patrol patterns, noting the gaps and moments of distraction. Humans excelled in patience, waiting for the perfect moment rather than charging recklessly. Kale used that strength to navigate the perimeter, avoiding detection with careful, deliberate movements. Inside the cruiser, Ceres's communicator picked up faint signals from Kale's drones. The micro-drones had already begun infiltrating the base, creating minor disturbances that diverted attention. She realized that her hope was well-founded. A human was coming, and his approach was methodical, clever, and precise. Ceres had seen many species in the galaxy, each with its own strengths, but humans were unique. Their combination of intelligence, courage, and adaptability allowed them to act in ways no one anticipated. Kale reached a maintenance shaft, the narrow tunnel leading directly into the heart of the pirate base. He checked his equipment, ensuring that his micro-tools and scanners were ready. Humans had a talent for improvisation, for turning simple devices into powerful tools. He slipped into the shaft, moving carefully through the dimly lit passage. The vibrations from above indicated the presence of heavy machinery and the constant activity of the base. Kale adjusted his movements, timing each step with the hum of energy systems, blending perfectly with the environment. The pirates, unaware of the infiltration, continued their internal patrols. Some of them argued over strategy, their disagreements echoing through the corridors. Kale listened carefully, noting the divisions and conflicts. Humans often turned chaos into opportunity, and Kale intended to do exactly that. Each misstep of the pirates could be leveraged, each moment of discord exploited to create openings for his advance. Meanwhile, Ceres continued her subtle manipulations of the cruiser's systems. She created minor malfunctions, forcing the pirates to split their attention between her movements and the disturbances she engineered. Her actions complemented Kale's infiltration, even though she was unaware of his exact location. Humans and aliens could work in tandem, even indirectly, to achieve a shared goal. She marveled at the thought, realizing that ingenuity could bridge differences between species, creating possibilities that brute strength alone could never achieve. Kale's micro-drones reached the central hub of the base. They triggered minor electrical disruptions, causing lights to flicker and alarms to reset momentarily. The pirates were momentarily distracted, trying to locate the source of the anomalies. Kale used the opportunity to advance deeper into the base, slipping through corridors and ventilation shafts. Humans were skilled at observation, and Kale relied on his senses to detect subtle changes in the environment. Every shadow, every vibration, Every sound told him something about the structure of the base and the location of the prisoners. Saris watched the monitors, noticing a faint pattern of energy fluctuations she did not fully understand. Yet instinct told her that someone was approaching, someone intelligent, determined, and capable. She prepared herself, making small adjustments to her escape pod to ensure it could launch quickly if needed. Humans were clever, she thought, and this human would soon show his skill. Kale reached the internal corridors near the holding cells. The pirates had created a maze of reinforced doors and automated security systems, but Kale's knowledge of human tactics allowed him to exploit subtle weaknesses. One minor flaw in the electronic lock, unnoticed by the pirates, provided him access to the hallway leading directly to Saris's location. Humans often saw patterns where others saw chaos, and Kale's mind worked with precision, calculating every step. As Kale moved closer, he noticed a security drone patrolling the corridor. Instead of engaging it directly, he created a small diversion, sending a micro-drone to emit a false signal. The security drone followed the decoy, leaving the path clear. Humans often succeeded not by overwhelming force, but by clever thinking and careful planning. Kale's actions demonstrated the strength of strategy over brute power. Inside the pod bay, Saris prepared herself. She could hear distant sounds of movement, the hum of machinery, and faint alarms from the base. Her instincts told her that help was near. She recalled stories of humans, known for their courage and ingenuity, capable of acts that defied expectation. Even now, she sensed that this human operative would bring hope where none seemed possible. Kale finally reached the outer door of the holding area. The locks were complex, designed to resist standard intrusion. He analyzed the mechanism quickly, noting the timing and electrical patterns. Using a small device, he bypassed the security system with precision. Humans were resourceful, capable of turning limited tools into powerful instruments. Within moments, the door clicked open silently. Saris looked up as Kale entered the room. She did not need confirmation. His presence radiated confidence, intelligence, and calm determination. Humans had a way of asserting themselves without force, relying on their minds and instincts. Kale moved quickly, disabling remaining security measures and creating a path toward the escape pod. The pirates, realizing the intrusion, began to respond. Alarms blared, and reinforcements moved toward the holding area. Kale acted decisively, guiding Saris through the corridors while neutralizing threats with minimal confrontation. Humans often excelled in timing and coordination, and Kale demonstrated this fully. Every action was calculated, every movement precise, ensuring that the mission remained on track. Saris followed Kale, impressed by his skill and composure. She realized that humans were underestimated in the galaxy. Their strength did not lie only in physical ability but in intelligence, courage, and adaptability. A single human, acting with focus and determination, could achieve what entire fleets could not. Her respect for the species deepened with every step. They reached the corridor leading to the escape pods. Kale paused, analyzing the remaining obstacles. Humans often relied on intuition, combining experience with quick thinking to solve problems in real time. He adjusted his plan, using minor disruptions to lure pirate patrols away and ensure a clear path. Saris watched, realizing that strategy and cleverness could overcome even the most formidable defenses. Finally, they arrived at the escape pod. Saris activated the controls, ensuring that the pod's trajectory was safe and undetectable by external sensors. Kale checked the surroundings, confirming that their path was clear. The humans' ability to remain calm, observe details, and adapt quickly had brought them to this point. Every step of the mission highlighted the unique strengths of the species. Kale and Saris entered the pod. It lifted from the bay silently, moving toward the exit of the asteroid base. Alarms blared behind them, but they were already on their way. Humans often succeeded not by overpowering their enemies, but by thinking creatively, acting decisively, and seizing opportunities that others overlooked. The rescue was underway, and the pirates were left scrambling in confusion. As the pod exited the base and entered the asteroid field, Kale guided it carefully through the rocks, avoiding detection and hazards. Saris marveled at his skill, realizing that humans combined intelligence, courage, and ingenuity in ways the galaxy rarely appreciated. Even in the darkest moments, their determination could create hope and change outcomes. The pod emerged from the asteroid field, free from immediate danger. Saris exhaled, relief washing over her. She glanced at Kale, understanding for the first time why humans were feared and respected across the stars. Their strength lay not just in technology or numbers, but in their minds, their courage, and their willingness to face impossible odds with determination and creativity. Kale adjusted the pod's course toward safe space. The mission was far from over. The pirates would regroup, and new dangers awaited. But for now, the first step had been achieved. Humans could face challenges others thought insurmountable, and one determined human could change the course of events for many. Saris realized that her trust in humans had not been misplaced. Kale Roran, with his calm, intelligence, and courage, had shown her the power of the human spirit. In the vast galaxy, where many species underestimated humans, one human could stand against overwhelming odds and succeed. The adventure was only beginning, but hope had returned, carried by the determination and ingenuity of a single human hero. The escape pod glided silently through the asteroid field, the hull shimmering under the dim light of distant stars. Saris Vol clutched the controls, her mind racing even as relief surged through her. She glanced at Kale Roran, whose calm demeanor contrasted sharply with the chaos they had just left behind. Humans, she realized, had a remarkable way of maintaining focus in impossible situations. Kale's quiet determination seemed to radiate confidence, and it reassured her more than any shield or weapon could. Kale scanned the surrounding space, watching the asteroid field for any sign of pursuit. The pirates were clever, but humans excelled at unpredictability. He had calculated their likely reaction, anticipating the areas they would search and the tactics they would use. The galaxy often underestimated human ingenuity, assuming brute force or advanced technology alone determined the outcome of a conflict. Kale had long known that a sharp mind, combined with courage and adaptability, could overcome far greater threats. Inside the pod, Saris monitored the systems, adjusting the power flow and navigation controls. She marveled at Kale's efficiency, realizing that humans could turn even the simplest tools into instruments of survival. Every adjustment, every calculation, had purpose. Even in the midst of fear, humans maintained clarity of thought. She felt a growing sense of admiration for this species, whose ingenuity and bravery defied conventional expectations. The pirates were not far behind. Despite the confusion caused by Kale's infiltration and the diversions he had engineered, they were regrouping quickly. Smaller, faster craft broke off from the main fleet, weaving through the asteroid field in an attempt to intercept the escape pod. Kale anticipated this, altering their trajectory subtly, using the natural cover of asteroids to shield them from detection. Humans had a remarkable ability to adapt to dynamic situations, and Kale's mind thrived on challenges like these. A sudden alarm beeped in the pod. Kale and Saris both turned toward the display. A pirate drone had detected their heat signature and was adjusting its course to intercept. Kale's hand moved over the controls with fluid precision, activating a decoy signal to mislead the drone. The small device emitted a pulse that mimicked the pod's energy signature, drawing the drone away from their actual path. Humans often succeeded not through sheer power, but by exploiting the expectations of others. Saris watched in awe as the decoy took effect. The drone followed the false signal, giving them precious seconds of advantage. "You really do think like a predator," she said quietly, half in admiration, half in disbelief. Kale gave a faint smile but said nothing. Action spoke louder than words, and humans often prove their worth through results rather than explanations. The escape pod navigated deeper into the asteroid field, maneuvering between massive rocks and narrow corridors of ice and stone. Kale calculated each movement, ensuring they stayed undetected while maintaining speed. Humans had an uncanny ability to turn obstacles into opportunities, and Kale used every shadow, every gap, every natural cover to their advantage. Despite their progress, danger was never far. Pirate interceptors appeared, their engines leaving glowing trails as they pursued the pod. Kale adjusted their flight path with calm precision, weaving unpredictably, forcing the pursuers to react to his moves rather than controlling the engagement. Saris observed, realizing that humans thrived in chaos, turning the confusion of battle into a tool rather than a threat. A pirate ship fired a disruptor blast, and the pod rocked violently. Saris's grip tightened on the controls, but Kale remained steady, his eyes scanning for weaknesses. The asteroid field provided some cover, but they needed a decisive move to escape. Kale deployed a small cluster of magnetic drones, which attached to the hull of the nearest pirate interceptor. The drones emitted pulses that interfered with the ship's engines, forcing it off course and buying them critical time. Saris's respect for the human operative grew. Humans were underestimated across the galaxy, dismissed as fragile or primitive, yet their ability to innovate in real time and remain composed under extreme pressure was extraordinary. She had witnessed Kale's skill in infiltration, and now she saw it in direct action, confronting danger head-on without fear. The escape pod continued weaving through the asteroid field, narrowly avoiding collisions. Kale's calculations were flawless, his instincts precise. Humans often excelled when others panicked, and Kale's calm assessment of every scenario demonstrated that truth. Saris began to understand why humans were both feared and admired. Their minds were weapons as sharp as any blaster or energy cannon. As they emerged from the densest part of the asteroid cluster, the pirate fleet still pursued them, though with less coordination. Kale activated a stealth drive, a human innovation that allowed the pod to briefly disappear from sensors. The pirates scanned frantically, unable to locate the pod. One by one, the interceptors faltered, their pursuit losing cohesion. Humans excelled at using unpredictability as a shield, and Kale's mastery of timing and tactics gave them the upper hand. The pod glided into open space, the stars stretching endlessly around them. Kale plotted a course to a nearby neutral station, a place where they could regroup and plan their next move. Saris observed the coordinates, impressed by his foresight. Humans had a rare combination of intelligence, bravery, and strategic thinking that allowed them to survive and thrive where others would fail. She felt a sense of relief, but knew the mission was not yet complete. The pirates, realizing they had been outmaneuvered, began to call for reinforcements. Kale anticipated this, sending a message through encrypted channels to neutral allies in the region. Humans often relied on collaboration and resourcefulness, turning available resources into advantages. The small communication disrupted the pirates' coordination further, buying them more time. Saris activated the pod's auxiliary systems, scanning for hazards and plotting a safe path to the station. Kale monitored the surrounding space, ensuring no hidden threats could ambush them. Humans excelled at multitasking under pressure, and their ability to integrate strategy, observation, and action allowed them to maintain control even in chaotic situations. Suddenly, one of the pirate ships broke formation, attempting a direct assault on the pod. Kale reacted instantly, using the pod's maneuvering thrusters to dodge and spin, forcing the ship to overshoot. He then deployed a small energy pulse, temporarily disabling the interceptor's navigation systems. Humans often relied on creativity and adaptability rather than brute force, and Kale's actions demonstrated this perfectly. Saris felt a surge of confidence. Humans were unpredictable in the best possible way. While other species relied on standard tactics and assumed linear outcomes, humans created possibilities where none seemed to exist. She realized that the galaxy had underestimated humanity for too long. Kale's courage, intelligence, and quick thinking had saved her life and demonstrated the unique power of their species. The pod finally reached the outskirts of the neutral station's defensive perimeter. Automated sensors scanned the approaching vessel, detecting anomalies in the pirate fleet's formation. Kale guided the pod through the checkpoints, providing the station with verification codes and identity signals. Humans were skilled at communication and negotiation, often using wit and intelligence to bypass conflict. The pod was accepted into the station's docking bay without further incident. Once docked, Kale and Saris disembarked. The station's personnel, a mix of humans and aliens, were impressed by the duo's calm under pressure and the efficiency of their operation. Kale quickly briefed the station commander, explaining the situation with clarity and precision. Humans often excelled at leadership in moments of crisis, combining intelligence, strategy, and decisiveness to achieve results. Saris expressed her gratitude, acknowledging Kale's skill and bravery. She realized that humans possessed qualities the galaxy had often overlooked: courage, ingenuity, adaptability, and the ability to act decisively under pressure. The events of the past hours had proven that even one determined human could overcome formidable odds and change the course of events. Kale, however, remained focused. The pirates would not give up easily, and he knew the danger was far from over. Humans had a unique combination of patience and resilience, allowing them to plan for the long term while acting decisively in the moment. He began analyzing data from the pirate fleet, preparing for potential counterattacks. Saris assisted by providing information on the pirates, tactics, and base layout. Their combined knowledge created a powerful synergy. Humans often succeeded when they collaborated, integrating intelligence, experience, and creativity to solve problems that seemed insurmountable. Together, they prepared for the next phase of their mission, ensuring the pirates could no longer threaten her or disrupt interstellar peace. Hours later, the pirates attempted a coordinated strike on the station, unaware that Kale had anticipated their approach. Using the station's defenses and his own tactical planning, he orchestrated a countermeasure that neutralized the threat without unnecessary conflict. Humans often excelled at turning defense into offense, using strategy to achieve maximum impact with minimal risk. Saris watched in admiration as Kale's plan unfolded. The pirates' ships were disabled or forced to retreat, their fleet scattered and disorganized. Humans' ability to anticipate, adapt, and act with precision had once again turned the tide. She realized that the galaxy's perception of humans needed to change. They were not weak, not predictable, not easily dismissed. They were clever, brave, and capable of shaping events in ways no other species could. As calm returned to the station, Saris turned to Kale. "You have shown me what humans can do," she said quietly. "I underestimated your species. You are truly remarkable." Kale nodded, his expression modest. Humans often acted without seeking praise, letting their results speak for themselves. Yet the impact of their actions resonated across the galaxy, inspiring respect and fear alike. Kale prepared for the next step, securing a permanent safe route for Saris and ensuring the pirates could no longer threaten diplomatic stability. Humans often thought ahead, anticipating problems before they arose and planning solutions that others would overlook. His mind worked tirelessly, calculating outcomes and possibilities, demonstrating why humans had earned a reputation as resilient, adaptable, and formidable. Saris reflected on the events of the past day. The pirates' kidnapping, her own efforts to evade capture, and Kale's remarkable rescue had revealed the strength of the human spirit. Humans were often underestimated, but they thrived under pressure, using intelligence, courage, and creativity to overcome challenges. She felt a deep sense of respect and gratitude, knowing that without Kale's intervention, the outcome could have been far different. Kale and Saris spent the remainder of the day planning their next moves. They reviewed the pirate fleet's known positions, considered potential threats, and prepared contingencies. Humans excelled at preparation, foresight, and adaptability, integrating strategy with action to achieve their goals. Saris realized that the galaxy's future was safer because of their efforts, and that humans, despite being underestimated, had the power to protect and shape the universe in ways others could not imagine. As night fell over the neutral station, Kale stood by the observation deck, looking out at the stars. The galaxy was vast, dangerous, and unpredictable, but humans had a unique strength: courage, intelligence, and the ability to act decisively when it mattered most. Saris joined him, her expression one of awe and appreciation. Together, they had survived impossible odds, and the lessons of human ingenuity and resilience would remain with her forever. The rescue was complete, yet the journey was far from over. Humans had proven their worth once again, showing that even a single individual could change the course of events, protect the vulnerable, and inspire respect across the galaxy. Kale and Saris prepared for the challenges ahead, knowing that humanity's courage and intelligence would continue to shape the universe, one bold action at a time. Kale Roran and Saris Vol stood in the docking bay of the neutral station, their minds focused on the next phase of the mission. Though the immediate danger had passed, the pirate fleet was still active in nearby sectors. Kale's sharp eyes scanned the holographic display, mapping the positions of pirate ships, supply routes, and hidden escape points. Humans thrived in challenges that required both intelligence and courage, and Kale's mind was a precise instrument for navigating chaos. Saris watched him work, marveling at his efficiency. Humans had a reputation for unpredictability, but their brilliance lay in strategy, adaptability, and determination. Kale's every calculation and decision demonstrated these traits. She realized that even in a galaxy filled with advanced species and deadly warriors, humans possessed a combination of creativity and courage that could overcome almost any obstacle. Kale initiated contact with allies at nearby trade stations and outposts. His plan was to track the pirate fleet, cut off their supply lines, and ensure they could not regroup to threaten Saris or others. Humans excelled at foresight and coordination, using intelligence and collaboration to achieve results that brute force alone could not. Every communication he sent, every strategy he devised, showcased the unique strength of human ingenuity. The pirate fleet, however, was not idle. They had gathered reinforcements and were determined to reclaim their prize. Their leader, a brutish alien known for ruthlessness, refused to acknowledge defeat. The pirates' ships moved in formation, weaving through asteroid fields and preparing to strike at the neutral station where Saris was temporarily safe. Kale anticipated their actions, calculating every possible move and countermove. Humans often thrived in situations where others relied on predictable tactics. Saris assisted Kale, providing details about the pirates' methods and potential weaknesses. Her insight, combined with Kale's strategic thinking, created a formidable plan. Humans often achieved success through collaboration, integrating knowledge, creativity, and rapid adaptation. Kale recognized the value of her input, understanding that even the most skilled human operative benefited from the intelligence of allies. The first sign of the pirate fleet appeared on the station's sensors. Smaller ships skirmished on the outskirts, probing defenses and attempting to test Kale's preparations. He responded with precision, using the station's automated turrets and strategically placed drones to neutralize the threats without unnecessary confrontation. Humans excelled at efficiency, ensuring that every action achieved maximum effect while minimizing risk. Saris monitored the situation with growing confidence. Kale's ability to anticipate the pirates' moves was extraordinary. Humans had a rare combination of observation, calculation, and decisiveness that allowed them to act before others could even react. The pirates' plans, though aggressive, were systematically dismantled by Kale's careful strategy. The pirate leader, frustrated by repeated failures, ordered a bold assault on the station. Their ships moved in tight formation, firing disruptor beams and attempting to breach defensive shields. Kale remained calm, analyzing the incoming threat and adjusting his strategy in real time. Humans thrived under pressure, using chaos to their advantage. Each decision he made exploited the pirates' predictable patterns, turning their strength against them. Kale deployed micro-drones to interfere with the pirates' navigation systems, causing disarray in their formation. Automated defenses targeted the most vulnerable ships, disabling engines and communication arrays. The pirate fleet, once confident, now struggled to maintain cohesion. Humans had an uncanny ability to turn adversity into opportunity, and Kale demonstrated this skill with every maneuver. Saris observed the drone's success and realized the true power of human ingenuity. While other species relied on overwhelming firepower or advanced technology, humans used creativity, strategy, and quick thinking to outmatch even the strongest opponents. She felt a deep respect for Kale, understanding that his intelligence and courage were as formidable as any weapon in the galaxy. The pirate leader, enraged by repeated losses, decided to take matters into his own hands. Boarding shuttles launched toward the station, carrying elite troops to confront Kale and reclaim Saris. Kale anticipated this move, coordinating with station defenses to create choke points and traps along likely paths. Humans often succeeded by predicting their opponents' decisions and preparing multiple contingencies. As the boarding parties approached, Kale activated energy barriers and automated turrets, slowing the enemy advance. He moved through the station with Saris, guiding personnel to safety and ensuring that no innocent lives were at risk. Humans had a remarkable ability to balance tactical effectiveness with ethical responsibility. Kale's focus on minimizing collateral damage demonstrated the strength of human character as much as their strategic brilliance. The first wave of pirate troops encountered Kale's defenses. Drones disrupted their coordination, while automated systems forced them to divert and regroup. Humans excelled in dynamic problem-solving, adapting quickly to changing situations. Kale anticipated each response, adjusting his tactics to exploit weaknesses in real time. Saris followed closely, providing intelligence and support as they navigated the station's corridors. The pirates pressed on, but their confidence faltered. Humans had a rare combination of courage, ingenuity, and adaptability that made them unpredictable and dangerous. Kale's actions demonstrated that even a single human, acting with focus and determination, could influence the outcome of events on a massive scale. Saris noted the pattern in Kale's approach. He never relied on sheer force alone. Instead, he used observation, anticipation, and creative solutions. Humans often succeeded where others failed because they combined intellect with courage, strategy with action. Each step Kale took was calculated to maximize effectiveness while minimizing risk, a balance few species could achieve. The boarding parties reached the station's inner corridors, encountering Kale and Saris directly. Kale moved with precision, using minimal force to incapacitate enemies and create openings for escape. Humans excelled at efficiency, achieving goals with intelligence rather than unnecessary confrontation. Saris assisted, guiding and coordinating movements, demonstrating the power of collaboration between species. The pirate leader, frustrated by repeated failures, attempted a direct confrontation. He burst into the corridor, brandishing a weapon, expecting to intimidate and overpower Kale. Humans, however, thrived under pressure. Kale's quick thinking and strategic positioning allowed him to neutralize the threat without unnecessary violence. His actions showcased human ingenuity, courage, and adaptability in a way that the pirate could not anticipate. Saris watched, amazed by the human's ability to act decisively and effectively. Humans often succeeded not by brute force, but by using intelligence, observation, and creativity to outmaneuver opponents. Kale demonstrated this skill perfectly, turning the pirate leader's aggression against him and ensuring that the threat was contained. With the pirate leader neutralized, remaining enemy forces hesitated. Kale used the moment to coordinate with the station's defenses, directing automated systems and allied personnel to secure the area. Humans had a remarkable ability to integrate multiple elements, strategy, technology, and teamwork, into a cohesive plan. The pirates' morale collapsed and their forces began to retreat. Saris reflected on the events. The rescue, the pursuit, and the final confrontation had all highlighted the unique strengths of humans. Courage, intelligence, adaptability, and strategic thinking allowed them to overcome overwhelming odds. Kale had demonstrated that even a single human could change the course of events, protect the vulnerable, and ensure justice. As Calm returned to the station, Kale and Saris debriefed with the commander. They reviewed the pirate fleet's known positions and prepared plans to prevent future threats. Humans often succeeded by thinking ahead, anticipating challenges, and creating solutions before problems arose. Kale's approach combined foresight with action, ensuring lasting security. Sarah spoke quietly, expressing her gratitude. "You have shown me what humans can do," she said. "Your courage, intelligence, and determination are unlike anything I have seen." "The galaxy underestimates your species." Kale nodded, modest as ever. Humans often acted without seeking recognition, letting their results speak for themselves. Yet the impact of their actions resonated across the galaxy, inspiring respect and admiration. The neutral station, now secure, celebrated the success of the mission. Personnel from multiple species acknowledged the skill and bravery of the human operative. Kale's actions had prevented the pirates from regaining power, protected countless lives, and demonstrated the unique capabilities of humanity. Humans were unpredictable, clever, and capable of acts that could shift the balance in even the most dire situations. Saris observed the celebration with a renewed sense of hope. The galaxy was vast and dangerous, but humans possessed qualities that allowed them to face challenges others could not. Courage, ingenuity, adaptability, and strategic thinking made them a formidable force. Kale's actions had not only saved her life, but had also proven the potential of humanity to shape events across the stars. Kale, however, remained focused on the future. The pirates were scattered, but threats would continue to emerge in the galaxy. Humans excelled at preparation, anticipation, and rapid response, ensuring that challenges could be met effectively. Kale reviewed intelligence reports, calculated potential risks, and developed strategies for long-term security. Human strength lay not only in their immediate actions, but also in their foresight and ability to plan for the unknown. Saris joined Kale, ready to assist in future missions. Together, they represented a partnership that combined human ingenuity with alien knowledge. creating a powerful force capable of overcoming nearly any challenge. Humans often succeeded when they collaborated, integrating diverse skills, perspectives, and experiences to achieve remarkable outcomes. The galaxy, vast and unpredictable, had witnessed the capabilities of a single human operative. Kale Roran's courage, intelligence, and strategic thinking had turned a dangerous situation into a victory, ensuring safety for Saris and countless others. Humans, long underestimated, had proven that determination, adaptability, and ingenuity could rival the most advanced technologies and the most powerful fleets. As the stars stretched endlessly outside the station, Saris reflected on the lessons she had learned. Humans were remarkable, capable of extraordinary acts when faced with impossible odds. Kale had demonstrated that even one individual, armed with intellect, courage, and creativity, could change the course of events, protect the vulnerable, and inspire respect across the galaxy. The mission complete, Kale and Saris prepared to depart the station. Their bond, forged in the crucible of danger and strategy, would continue to shape future events. Humans' unique combination of qualities, courage, intelligence, adaptability, and decisiveness, ensured that they would remain a force capable of protecting peace and shaping the destiny of the galaxy. As the escape pod lifted from the station, Kale reflected on the journey. Humans had always thrived in adversity, using intellect and creativity to overcome challenges that seemed insurmountable. Their courage, resourcefulness, and adaptability allowed them to confront danger and prevail. Saris, watching beside him, understood fully why humans had earned both fear and respect across the stars. The galaxy was vast, filled with unknown dangers, but humans possessed qualities that allowed them to face any challenge. Kale and Saris together exemplified the power of courage, intelligence, and strategic thinking. The pirate threat had been neutralized, and the lesson was clear. Humans, underestimated by many, were capable of extraordinary deeds. The stars stretched endlessly before them, a reminder of the infinite possibilities that awaited. Humans would continue to explore, adapt, and thrive, shaping events and protecting those who could not defend themselves. Kale and Saris, survivors of the pirate conflict, were living proof that one determined human, acting with intelligence, courage, and creativity, could alter the course of the galaxy. And so, with the pirate threat behind them and the stars ahead, Kale and Saris set their course for the next adventure, confident that humanity's courage and ingenuity would continue to shine across the universe, a beacon of hope, resilience, and brilliance for all who witnessed it.